Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Olight Warrior X4 Kit. So this is the box, how it comes. So let's just open that up and I'll show you what's inside. Okay, so inside we've got user manual, some safety warnings. We've got the mount here so you can mount the torch onto your scope. We've got some adhesive double-sided tape there. We've got the pressure switch. We've got the USB-C charging cable. And then we've got a red and a green filter, and then the torch in a holster. Okay, so looking at the torch itself, it's fairly compact. Overall length, we're looking at about 149 millimeters or 5.87 inches, and only 1.56 inches or 39.5 millimeters in diameter there. We've got the 2 meter drop resistance with this torch, so you know it's going to take the impact. I've never had any problem with any Olight torches with dropping them, put it that way. They've all worked, you know, after I've dropped them or they've fallen off the back of a ute or whatever, so I've never had any issues there. IPX8 waterproof rating, so you know it can be fully submerged this, and you know it's going to continue to operate. On this model, you know they're claiming 2,600 lumens. You know that comes from a 5,000 milliamp hour rechargeable lithium ion battery, and you know 630 meters of beam distance. You know, there are always big claims on the beam distance, I find, but the practical use for it is substantially less. But obviously I show that in the review. You get to see it in real conditions and how it performs. Now we've got the on-off switch at the back here. So you've got two different, you've got two different modes, but within those modes you've got two different brightness settings. Okay, so in its current mode, the high is 2,600 lumens, so that'll run for about 3 minutes, and then it drops down by 38%, you know, for another 140 minutes, and then from there it'll drop down another 12% for the remaining 20 minutes. Or if it's on low mode, it's 300 lumens, which will run for 8 hours. So the difference in it is you just hit lightly at the back and it'll just come on the low mode, or you press with a bit more force and then the full 2,600 lumens will come on from there. Your battery levels, so if you just twist down, you've got your USB-C port there for charging, but when you turn the torch on, you'll see the little green indicator there. Now it'll come up with different colors depending on the actual battery level. So if you're charged fully, you know, or 60% or more, it'll be green. If you're between sort of 10 and 60%, it'll be orange. Between 5 and 10%, it'll be red. And then if it's under 5% of charge, then it'll be blinking red. So yeah, you've always got that indicator there, which I find really useful, because if you're out in the field, you think, okay, well, how much longer have I got roughly of use with the torch? Well, that's a really easy reference right there. So now the tactical mode. To get into that, we've got 1,000 lumens, which will run for 150 minutes, and then it'll drop down by 30% for about 20 minutes from there. Then you've got the strobe mode, which it'll run for 330 minutes, and that's advertised as 2,600 lumens in the strobe mode. So, you know, fairly impressive there. So to get into that is a very unusual way, I guess. You know, usually there's, you know, you triple click at the back with a lot of Olights and it'll go into a strobe mode if it has that feature. Well, with this, you just turned on at the back and then just unscrew the tail cap until it turns off, screw back on, and then hit it, and then you'll be in the tactical mode, and then you can hit the strobe from there. So just a light push will come up obviously with the 1,000 lumens. Then if you push heavier, it'll go into the strobe mode from there. So to get back again, turn it on, unscrew it, and then forward, and then we'll be back in the normal mode there where I've got high and low at 2,600 and 300 lumens respectively. Okay, so guys, not much more I can tell you about it. You know, it's the same tough housing that they make most of their torches from. Like, you know, you can really give them a beating. So let's talk a little bit more very quickly about the mounting system here. So for this, for me, I would be mounting this on top of a scope. That'd probably be the easiest thing. And then the pressure switch, one thing I wanted to point out about this is you've got two parts to it. So there's a high and a low on the pressure switch. So, you know, depending on what you need, then it's easy to be able to activate that. So guys, we're going to wait till it gets a little bit darker here, obviously, and then I'll get out on the farm and show it in practical use. But price-wise on this, at the moment of doing this review, like always, very aggressive with marketing Olight are. So they've got a 40% off flash sale. So normally these kits are $247.95. But you can get 40% off, so they're down to $161.86. I'll put the link to their website below, and you know, you can check that out in your own time. Let's get out when we get a bit more darkness on us, and I'll show you exactly what this torch is made of. So we'll start off just with a gong here at 50. Just give you a bit of an idea of what you'll be looking at with the torch on high, which is the full turbo mode at this stage. So let's just take a couple of shots and see how we go. So there's more than enough light here, that's for sure, looking through the scope. So I've just gone down to low mode now at that same distance, and I can confidently say, yep, looking through the scope, I can still clearly see the target. So, you know, if you're out and you're plinking for rabbits in and about the grass and around the bottom of trees and stuff like that, you know, out there sort of 50 yards, maybe out towards 75, you could still use the low if you wanted to. Like, it'd still bring up enough light looking through the scope. So we're just looking at some scrub here, only about 50 yards away, but then we'll go out further and we'll look at some of the trees there, a bit further out at 100. So as you can see, like, there's more than enough light. Like, if you're looking through a scope especially, you would easily pick up enough light there to confidently identify your target and be able to take a shot. So we've got the green filter on now, and as you can see, like, you know, that's a fair bit of light that it's pumping out there. Now we are on turbo mode here, so, you know, confidently I'd say out to 100 yards there, you could easily use the green filter. Looking at that same distance with the red filter now, same deal guys, you know, you'd be able to whistle in foxes and easily take a shot out to 100 there. So even though it's magnetic at the back, it's not as strong as some of the other Olight torches where you can just mount them against, you know, like a shed or your steel tray on your ute. Yeah, this is just lacking the oomph to hold it stable there without me holding it with my hand. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the Olight Warrior 4X kit. Now, I've had no issues with it. It's fairly lightweight. You know, I've got on my CZ457 in 22 Magnum here, and I didn't worry about the pressure switch. That's just a personal preference of mine. Doesn't matter whether I've got a light source on an AR or just on a bolt action rifle. I like to just manually operate it with my thumb and then up to the shoulder. That's just me personally. I don't like cords and stuff coming down. So yeah, like lightweight, like it really adds not much more, you know, to the actual rifle setup. You know, shooting before it was just off the shoulder there, it's easy. Like, it really is genuinely easy. And what I like about it is, instead of having to get, like, say, the Javelin Pro or something like that, that's going to be heavier, obviously. Yeah, it's got more light output, but this is just a really good compromise. So, you know, you want to be able to go out and do a little bit of spotlighting, so to speak, for feral pests, whether it's, you know, rabbits or pigs or whatever. Like, you've got usable distance here up to a couple of 100 yards, you know. Whereas, you know, like, if you're going to go beyond that, I'm not really too sure why people would be going beyond that, especially over night time, you know. You know, you've got obviously the Javelin Pro, which is, you know, a fantastic series. Any of those Javelins are. But this is just a good compromise to have a nice compact lightweight torch that's still pushing out a lot of lumens And you know, like I've said before on a lot of these reviews, just because there might be a runtime of 3 minutes on turbo, well, that's continual, you know, so if you start and stop, you know, turn it on and off regularly, well, that's going to obviously extend that time. So yeah, I think they're great. Having the filters on the front, especially like the red filter there for foxes, brilliant idea as well. You know, if you want to use that pressure switch, or if you're, you know, police or military operators, like you've got that tactical option there with the strobe to have that as a blinding tool. So, you know, they've thought of a lot, obviously, with the torch. So guys, yeah, look, no real complaints other than I would have liked to have seen the magnet at the back a lot stronger so that you could just, you know, put it up against like the shed or, you know, up against your steel tray and it have like more than enough oomph in it just to hold. I mean, that'd be a really practical use for me here on the farm. So yeah, but overall guys, look, really good. If you want to jump on the flash sale like they always do, click the link below and you can actually get a damn good deal on one of these. Yeah, I really have nothing more I can add to the review. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. So till next time, we'll catch you then.